Washington, D.C., capital city of the United States of America. It has a famous metro system, but did you know that there's a second, lesser-known subway system underneath the city? A subway built for politicians. These people keep the trains running, so these people can keep the country running. Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom and I'm in Washington, D.C. For years I've dreamt of being able to do this, and today is finally the day. We're headed to the US Capitol, where we are going to ride the Capitol Subways. But first we have to take the regular metro to get to the Capitol.
This is an Orange Line train to New Carrollton, but will move to the center of the car. The next stop is Capitol South.
I will never get tired of doing metro montages. So I've made it to Capitol South Metro Station, which is probably the closest station to the actual Capitol. And we're headed to the Longworth building today. Over there we will meet our guide as well as a guest for the video. What we're going to do today is, of course, like publicly accessible. We're not uncovering any state secrets or whatever, but it is a Capitol building, so it's important that you don't walk around unchaperoned, which is why we're meeting our guide today. The United States Capitol is home to the legislative branch of the government. The House of Representatives meets on one side, the Senate meets on the other. You may have been here before on a tour. It's full of beautiful art and architecture. In this building, lawmakers debate and vote on new laws. But here's the thing. The building might look big, but it's actually not big enough. Think about it. 100 senators, 435 representatives. They don't just work on their own. Each of these members has a professional staff and interns working for them. A lesser-known freshman congressperson might have 10 people working for them. The Senate Majority Leader, dozens. Then add committee staff, the police, tour guides. You get the picture. They need more space. So more space was built. On both sides of the Capitol, there are congressional office buildings. These are actually where a lot of the work gets done. Each building is honestly like a city in itself, and we're about to take a look in one. But first, time to meet up with our guest. Oh, hey there, Bear.
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in DC?
A little sightseeing.
Want to go see some sights?
Yeah, this is Jacob, viewers. Hey guys.
I also took my friend Chicagoland Transit with me, and he has released a video of the Capitol Subway as well. Make sure to check out his channel. These congressional office buildings are so interesting. The top floors are filled with offices. Staffers are running around, lobbyists are lurking the halls hoping to catch a congressperson. The clocks on the wall have blinking lights that alert the lawmakers when it's time to vote. In those cases, there will be elevators reserved especially for members. No transit tourists allowed. But the best part of these buildings? The basement. Just in Longworth alone, there is a massive dining hall. A combination Dunkin' Donuts Baskin-Robbins, a gift shop, a credit union, an office for booking flights, a dry cleaners. It really is a mini city. Or a network of underground caves. The basements of the different buildings are all connected to each other underground. How anyone finds their way in here, I don't know. I'm so glad we had a guide. Lots and lots and lots of tunnels. If you've done a Capitol tour before, chances are you started here. Those tours are great, but you can also book a tour with your congressperson. Someone in their staff will guide you around, and I prefer it this way because then you can make special requests and see more of the day-to-day operations of Congress. Now, just like all the office buildings are connected underground, there's also a connection to the Capitol. I've got my little badge, so I'm all clear to go visit the Capitol now. The walk to the Capitol from the House office buildings has a cool art wall. A high schooler from each district got their artwork selected for the wall. This one's my favorite for obvious reasons. So this is the basement of the actual Capitol. Walking is fine, but we're here to see trains. For that, we navigate the labyrinth towards the Rayburn building. Deep in the depths of Rayburn, we finally come face to face with our first Capitol Subway. This. What is this strange contraption, and why does it exist? Well, let's zoom out a bit. There are 3 subway lines underneath the US Capitol. The one we just saw is the House Subway, which connects the Rayburn office building with the Capitol. The other 2 lines are on the Senate side, connecting the Capitol with the Russel, Dirksen-Hart buildings. Let's head over there now, as they are arguably more impressive. In case you didn't notice, the Senate subway is a little bit nicer. I love the big plants. Let's ride the subway to Russel first. None of that plain white nonsense. Beautiful, open-aired blue and red cars. And the thickest pantograph I've ever seen.
The doors are closing.
This one is really bumpy, but the seats are soft, so that kind of makes up for it. Both this train and the previous House subway we looked at are manually operated. An operator sits in the middle, controlling the doors as well as moving the train back and forth. Now that's a dream job. The ride to Russel is short, very short. I'll talk about why this thing even exists in a little bit. But first, let's talk about how it got here. Here in the Russel building, which by the way is gorgeous, there is a little exhibit about the history of the Capitol Subway. In 1909, when the Russel building opened, a tunnel to the Dirksen building opened along with it. At first, there were no rails at all. Two weird little cars, built by Studebaker and named Tommy and Peg, shuttled senators from their new offices to the Senate floor. In 1912, a monorail opened in its place. That's right, a monorail. A suspended monorail, in fact. You can still gaze upon it in the Russel basement. 18 people could fit on the monorail, and it ran for 50 years. It was a huge hit. In 1960, when what is now called the Dirksen building opened, the monorail became ancient history. A new line opened using the more traditional two-rail technology we just rode. The Russel Subway was also converted to that technology. This annoyed a lot of senators back in the day, as they had all formed an attachment with the monorails that had moved them around for half a century. The Rayburn Subway on the house side opened just a few years later using the same technology. For a while, all three lines used similar, manually driven, open-air trains. Though the Russel and Rayburn subways have remained mostly unchanged since then, the other line has changed dramatically. See, in 1982, it was extended to serve the new Hart building. The old trains were soon unable to keep up with the new demand. One day, 8 senators missed a vote because of how congested the subway was. That's when everybody agreed something needed to be done. And so a brand new automated system was introduced in 1994. 29 years later, we're about to ride it. These 3-car driverless trains use a design that was borrowed from Disney World in Florida. The trains run on rubber tires guided by steel rails. There is no motor on board the train. Instead, these are linear motor cars. I won't go into all the details here, perhaps that's a good topic for a future video, but basically there's a magnet laid inside the tracks which pulls the train forward. There are many full-scale metro systems around the world that use this technology, like the Toei Oedo line in Tokyo, Japan. None of them sound as cool as this one though. Hey, an American system with platform screen doors. I'm on the Senate subway. I absolutely love the noise this thing makes when it starts moving. It feels so surreal to be able to ride this. I found out that these trains existed when I was just a kid, and it's been a dream to ride them ever since. So how was I able to? Well, though they may seem secret or highly exclusive, they are actually open to the public. The only thing is, you need to be escorted by a staff member. If this interests you, consider reaching out to your representative in Congress. Remember, there is no guarantee you can ride it. For example, when a vote is being called, the trains are reserved for members of the House and Senate only. But it is always worth trying. It's crazy, you're walking through a government building and there's this rumbling noise as if you're in a subway station. It's because technically you're in both. So the big question remains, why? These distances are walkable. Isn't it expensive to maintain a small rail system like this? The answer is twofold: accessibility and convenience. So it is of course an option to just walk down the hallway between the buildings. And a lot of people do that. But you have to realize that these subways make it a lot more accessible to either work in Congress or be a representative, because if walking is not your strong suit for whatever reason, you can get on the train and take it to go vote. And second, catching the train can save you a few seconds of walking. It may not seem like much, but during busy periods, reps and senators can be forced to travel back and forth between their office and the floor multiple times a day. That's a lot of steps. Michigan. The best comparison I've heard is this. Think of it as a horizontal elevator. Sure, you can choose to take the stairs, and some people do, but having that extra option is nice. And we're outside again. If you ever do visit the Capitol, make sure to add the Library of Congress to your itinerary. Seriously, one of the most beautiful buildings in the United States. We just rode the Capitol Subway. It was short, it was fast. Might not be anything special to you, but to me, this was the thrill of a lifetime. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to ride these. And like I said earlier, they may be small, but they're of vital importance to this country and to the world. Thanks for watching this video today. Please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Still got so many cool trains to show you, so we'd love to have you along for the ride. See you next time.